Hey Facebook friends, hey Insta friends, Jackie Ritz here of the Paleo Mama. I am streaming on two different places, so if you see my eyes go back and forth, it's because I want to be able to connect with my amazing Insta friends and then my amazing Facebook friends. So just keep that in mind if you see my eyes drifting, that's why. So Jackie Ritz of the Paleo Mama blog. I'm also a advocate for real food, farming, sustainable living, minimalism, all that good stuff. We travel, we have an RV, and we've had an amazing time here on the farm. So hey, Reba from Iowa. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk with you more about essential oils and also why we decided to really go with the brand of Doterra. So you're probably sitting there and wondering, like, what is all this stuff about different brands? Why do people say theirs is the best? I'm just going to give you guys the facts today, and I'm going to let you make your own decisions about what you believe, okay? I am a firm believer in researching whatever you're going to use. Like, I'm a research fanatic. So before I discovered my love of essential oils and Doterra, I was using herbs and essential oils for about 15 years. I would buy the organic label because I thought that was the best, and I would, make sure that I didn't put them near my kids because I heard that was so dangerous. So I've changed a little bit since then. I'm gonna share with you guys why and how, and also I'm just really gonna tell you just those quality standards to look for in essential oils if you're looking into buying them for supporting your healthcare. So it is like undeniable that essential oils have become mainstream. They are taking over the world, and so many people in holistic healthcare and just, people like you and me, moms who just want to make the best decisions for our family and to use the best natural solutions, we're becoming aware of the powerful availability of essential oils, and you don't have to run out anywhere in the middle of the night and get them, okay? So that's why I am a strong believer in everybody having them at their fingertips so that you can use them when you need them. And let me tell you right now, when I was a young mom, about 5-6 years ago, I had a 2-year-old and a newborn. Well, he was a newborn. He was probably about 6 months. My husband was gone, some kind of army training, we are retired military now, but my husband was in the army, and he was gone. So he was gone for a year to Iraq, he was gone to Afghanistan, and one of those times that he was gone, I was alone with the kids. And I woke up middle of the night, my son's screaming his bloody face off. And I, as a relatively new mom, 2 years old, but never had two kids by myself in the middle of the night kind of scenario, I felt so stuck. I felt so unempowered and helpless, and I had no idea what to do for my child. And so I remember getting my 2-year-old up, packing up a diaper bag, 3 o'clock in the morning, going to the nearby 24-hour drugstore and just standing there with my kids screaming. One is just so mad at me that I woke her up, and the other one's just pulling on his ear, not feeling good, has a little fever, and I felt so helpless. And so the reason why I actually got started using Doterra was because I never wanted to be in that situation ever again. And I never wanted to be unarmed as a mom. I wanted the answers, and I wanted to be able to help my kids at the time that they needed it. And so this world is awakening to essential oils. It's expected to reach an over $11 billion industry by the year of 2022. And it's so awesome to see that so many people. I love going to Target and seeing a mom there pull out a roll-on bottle of lavender and rub it down the spine of her child when they're having a screaming fit in the middle of the checkout aisle. I love seeing that because I know that that mom is now an empowered mom And now she's got the answers to one of the most common frustrations that all of us have, that you have. And so I love seeing that. But here's why you should care about brand. Okay, the reason why you should care is because this is an industry that is not monitored really well. And the reason why I say that is because most of the essential oils on the market are not 100% pure. There's lots of examples that I could give you. Go to Essential Oil University on Facebook, and Dr. Pappas is a chemist, and he's constantly third-party testing, which is the only way of testing, if you ask me, and I'll kind of tell you why. But he's also testing all these different brands, and they're all coming up fake, synthetic, adulterated, full of solvents, full of pollutants, full of pesticides. Why do you want to put that on your body? Let alone the bodies of your little humans that you're raising as best as you can. So go check that out if you're actually curious, because it's a huge, huge issue. So here's how you find the best essential oils. Okay, these are 5 standards that I fully believe that everyone should look at. So check for purity. That is absolutely number 1. And I know you're probably sitting there going, I'm not a chemist. How do I do this? Everybody promises their oils are pure. Okay, so here's some standards to look at. I want you guys to look at, first, know that the word therapeutic grade means nothing. Okay, and I'm a doTERRA advocate telling you that therapeutic grade means nothing. And here's the reason why. Okay, there is no universally accepted independent body that is certifying that a company is putting out therapeutic grade essential oils. There's just not. Okay, the FDA has their criteria, but it's not really that great. And the only thing that that is really regulated in the essential oil industry is that the advertising of it and the claims that we must abide by as the FTC. So throughout this video, you're going to notice that I say some really weird words instead of making any kind of disease claims or any kind of like, this is going to cure this. I will not say that because essential oils are a wellness industry. They support your full holistic health, okay? And they are not a drug, okay? And they should never be used as that. So that is one of the reasons, is there is no universally accepted claim. So that is a good and that is a bad thing, okay? Many companies have their own company-developed therapeutic grade standards that they go by. So this is good and bad, if you ask me, okay? Good because, you know, they should have some kind of regulation. We need to see that when we're checking the purity of an essential oil. Bad because that means that anyone and Walmart and Best Buy and everywhere else, Amazon seeing essential oils, can label that their oils are therapeutic grade. So if you are just looking for 1, therapeutic grade, 2, organic, then you're missing the point here. You need to dig deeper when you're looking for a brand of essential oils. I also believe that it should be done, the testing should be done through third party. When you're testing an essential oil in-house, there's a lot of things that come into question, including the honesty and the integrity of those testing results. So I always make sure that almost 80 to 90% of the testing of a brand of essential oils is done through third-party testing. For me, that really shows the integrity and the honesty of the company. Now that leads me to my next point of purity, is that there should be some kind of availability for you to look at the testing records. Okay, so one of my favorite parts about doTERRA is that if you go to source2you.com, you can take your bottle of essential oil, and on the bottom of it is a lot number. And source2you.com allows you to enter in that lot number, and you're able to see the testing results that were done on this oil, okay, this blend or this oil. So you get to see all of that. And so for me, that really just shows that the company has nothing left to hide. I also believe that it's important to note that mislabeling can happen to any company. For me, I'm not talking about adulterating the oils. I'm talking about mislabeling. So for me, what I'm more concerned about is how the company reacts to that problem. So if they come out and hide the fact that they mislabeled something and make all kinds of excuses for it, then that like triggers something in me. And it's not a good, it's a negative thing. So I really think that's important. Also looking at the testings that they do. So they should do more than gas chromotomy. I always say CS. So they should do more than that. Why? Because companies are becoming so good at passing through synthetic oils through this GS testing and the GSMS testing, or GCMS. So I think it's really important that you look into more of the testing standards that are being done other than that. And so if I'm losing you right here, just hold on, okay? For those of you who are like, just tell me what oil to buy. Okay, I will. It's doTERRA. Okay, but for those of you who are sitting there and going, I really want to learn this, thank you for hanging with me. I'll get moving on. Okay, organic, foganic. That's all I got to say about that. And the reason why is because 15 years ago when I started using essential oils, for me, this was a big thing. Okay, I wanted to make sure that the brand was organic. I wanted to make sure that it was the best oil, therapeutic, organic, and that was my only standard. Now, here's the thing, is that as a farmer now, we actually looked into getting certified organic for our products. And so we made eggs and we had grass-fed beef. Was it organic? 100% organic. We fed them organic food. They grazed out on our organic pastures that had never been sprayed with pesticides. So it was organic. But we did not get it labeled organic because it was like $20-something thousand. And so it was ridiculous. And so that's why organic really, it's good when it comes to your food, but when it comes to essential oils, there's a few more things you need to look at if you actually are going to trust the organic label. And the reason why, if we're looking at doTERRA, when I was looking into doTERRA, one of my biggest concerns was that it wasn't organic. And so I asked the question, why aren't these oils organic? Like, they're not as good as the brand that I can get at my health food store because those are labeled organic. But here's the deal, and this is actually going to transition into my next point. So doTERRA sources their oils from all over the world. I'm talking like 40 countries. All of our 100 oils come from over like 40 countries. Okay, and so the reason why is because doTERRA has those sustainable and responsible harvesting methods. And our oils come from where they grow the best. The quality of an essential oil is it varies, okay? I could grow lavender in my backyard, and I do, okay, right there. But it does not have the medicinal qualities that lavender that's grown in France or Bulgaria has. It's the same thing with your wine. Why would you buy your wine from Utah when you can get an amazing bottle grown that comes from grapes from Napa Valley or France or Italy, somewhere like that where it really grows good? The altitude of the plants, the climate around it, the time it was harvested. If they harvest our lavender in the afternoon, or if they harvest, ylang-ylang in the afternoon, there's something that's called flash off. Okay, so some of the essential oils from these flowers, when you harvest them in the afternoon, there's this flash off, and you're not getting all of those amazing qualities and those therapeutic qualities of that flower or that plant. So rising early before the sun rises, and getting up early, and these farmers and these harvesters are waking up early and harvesting them at a time where it prevents that flash off. So that is also really important. So that was our number 2 thing that you need to look at. Not only purity, but second is the harvesting methods. So if you don't understand this one, okay, and why this is important, I'm going to give it to you really, really simple. okay? Remember when I said at the beginning that the essential oil industry is expected to reach more than 11 billion, okay? People by $11 billion by 2022. Think about that, okay? I love seeing that essential oils are mainstream. It brightens my happy little hippie heart. But I want to know that they are harvesting their essential oils, perfectly. I want to know that mass harvesting and ruining the population of the animals that thrive off of those plants, off of those flowers, off of those, trees and roots that we harvest and we use. I want to know that it's not hurting them, because I'm a little hippie here and that matters to me. So great, just because something is really, really great doesn't mean that it doesn't come with great responsibility. So that is really important. So mass harvesting not only endangers the precious herbs that we're harvesting, but it also endangers the animals that are thriving off of that. If you guys were aware, in 2016, the Associated Press article came out about the over-harvesting of wild frankincense trees. And so it's a legitimate concern. And so I think it's something that we need to think about as this industry is growing so big, because we want to make sure that we're supporting a company that is preventing this mass harvesting issue. So here's a couple of things that I look for in a company, in an essential oil company, to make sure that they are not over harvesting and they're using sustainable methods with our future in mind when they're harvesting these plants and these seeds and these roots. One is I want to make sure that they're not harvesting and they're working with harvesters who are not harvesting at-risk plants and trees. Okay, so there's been many times that doTERRA essential oil will not sell a particular, something's out of stock and something's not being available. And the reason why is because they will not, their goal and their mission is not quantity over quality. And so there's always a reason why. And it usually has to do with the sustainability of that plant. And I like to make sure that the essential oil industry, whatever I'm buying for in the brand, doesn't violate the Lacey Act or the Endangered Species Act. Okay, and so recently a very well-known company, doTERRA's main competitor, was fined $760,000 for illegally trafficking rosewood and spikenard oil. So that's something that that concerns me. I want to make sure that I'm not supporting an essential oil company like that. Also, I want to make sure that the harvesters, the growers, and who the company is working with are getting fair wages. So there's a middleman involved in the essential oil industry. It's the broker, and they usually work with the essential oil company, and then they work with the farmers, or mostly the harvesters. And this broker could be money hungry. And so what happens a lot of the time is this broker is pushing these harvesters to produce more, to harvest more, to get more, okay, so that they can make more money from the essential oil brand, okay, or the company. So one of the things I love about doTERRA is they provide fair wages, and the essential oil company of doTERRA works directly with the harvesters. So this bypasses that money-hungry broker and allows them to work directly with the harvesters, and they have a sustainable income without feeling the hustle of over-harvesting. And so the essential oil company also should make sure that they are sourcing their essential oils from all over the world, okay, because this prevents over-harvesting. Okay, so this leads me to my next point. Number 3, purity, harvesting and sustainability methods, and then number 3, where the oil comes from. That's really, really important. It does matter. You think that you can plant a seed, that you can harvest the seed, and you can distill the oils, right? Well, think again, because location is key in plant potency. And so it's really important for me that these precious oils, let's just take like lavender. like I've been talking about. Lavender, oh, I've got my stories about lavender. So there was a time where I was not sleeping good at all. Like I was having nightmares. I was having bad dreams. I was just up for 20 times a night. No joke. And if you're waking up that much, you know that you're not getting good sleep. So I was up. And I remember I had just bought my family essentials kit from Doterra. And I remember looking at that bottle going, okay, how can I use this? I heard that this is supposed to help me. Now how can I use it? And I got up in the middle of the night really quietly. My husband was over there snoring in the bed. And I opened my bottle of lavender. I smelled it. And as soon as I let that calming aroma into my body, I just remember my shoulders like falling, like collapsing. And I said, wow, okay, now let's try this on my pillow. And so I put a drop on my pillow and I went back to bed and I didn't wake up the rest of the night. And so the next night I was like, I'm going to put that drop on my pillow, but I'm also going to grab my diffuser and I'm going to put it in my diffuser. And so I did that. And that night I woke up one time and that was it. And so to go from waking up 20 times to waking up one time is an amazing, it's just amazing proof that our earth carries all that we need to taking care of our body. And God did not leave this earth medicineless for us guys. He left us these resources for us to use. And so use them. Use them. Don't be afraid to use them. But use these quality standards when you're buying them. Okay, I don't care if you buy essential oils from Doterra, through me, through anyone. I don't care. I don't care if you buy them through another company. As long as you are looking at the quality standards that are important and that knowledge is everything. Some of the things and the key points to look for, then more power to you. I'm so happy that you're choosing to use plant-based medicine. I really am. Okay, so meeting the demands of these oils is really the highest priority. And how can we do that? Through a global initiative. So one of the things I love about Doterra is that instead of being tempted to buy out large plots of land, in places where nothing grows, I want to say Arizona, but my friend Danelle in Weedamareep, she has all these awesome things growing. So I'm not going to say Arizona. How about Nevada? Why buy a plot of land in Nevada when it grows so good and rich, in Bulgaria? So it's tempting for companies to do that. It's tempting for them to buy a large plot of land here in the United States. They don't have to, their wages are going to be way lower. They won't have to worry about getting it back over here. So why not do that? So it's very tempting to do that. And so the simple fact remains that you cannot replace the knowledge of local growers and distillers that are in different countries. Many of, they've worked with these crops for thousands of years in their family. All right, so when you're looking for the best essential oils, check to see that the company is harvesting their oils from all over the world. So what I love about Doterra is that they work with farmers and harvesters and distillers in over 40 countries. So this should be important to you. Location, climate, altitude, the time of harvest, which will prevent that flash off, which I talked about. Harvesting, in the early morning when nobody else wants to get up. It all determines the quality of the essential oil. So, full transparency is really important. And also just using your brains. If a company promises, some guarantee that they're involved in the process from, plant and seed to distilling and putting the oils out in the world, then just use your head to ask, to figure out if that's truth or not, because in my opinion, the numbers would not add up. If they are sourcing from seed to bottle, then and they are involved in the whole process, then that means that they probably are not sourcing from all over the world. And so that is important to me, okay? The price of the oil matters, number 4, sorry, number 2. The price matters. So Another way for you to use common sense. Okay, let me just tell you something that's really cool. Approximately 252,000 individual petals of rose are required, and that's 8,000 roses, okay? That is required to actually produce a bottle this size, okay? 8,000 rose flowers. Can you guys see that? That's how much is required to produce this size of bottle. So if you haven't had your coffee yet, okay, so good. If you haven't had your coffee, that means that it takes 60 roses to produce one drop. 60 roses to produce one drop of essential oil. Let's think about that, okay? If you saw a bottle of therapeutic grade rose essential oil at your health food store and it was $20, does that make any sense to you? Okay, fact, fiction. Put it together and create your empowerment here. That makes no sense, okay? The average bottle of rose this size costs $600. And nobody can buy that, right? Okay, unless you love your rose. But that's why Doterra has rose that you can buy that comes in a roll-on bottle that is already diluted with some fractionated coconut oil. You don't need to use powerful rose, okay? You only need a little tiny bit of it, okay? So use your genius brains that all of you have there. Price is an indication of quality 99% of the time. Okay, if somebody is buying or selling essential oils for cheaper than what you have seen, it's going to be cheap for your health. Do not buy it, okay? Use your brains and understand that, the price is really, really important when it comes to you deciding if this is going to help your health. And that is why billions of people are using essential oils, is because they're sick of their healthcare options out there and they're resorting to a more holistic way of taking care of their family and their body. All right. So the price of the oil matters. So when it comes to your health, we should know and remember that cheaper isn't always better, and quantity should never trump quality in the essential oil industry. And so please keep that in mind as you're looking into essential oil brands that you want to buy. All right, number 5, okay, the last thing for you to look at is the reputation of the company. And just because I put this point last doesn't mean that it is like my least favorite, okay? This was really hard for me to put last, but I'm only putting it last there because some of you guys might not care about this point, and it might be the least important to you. But just because I found this very important, okay? I found that when I was researching an essential oil company, that looking into just some of the backgrounds of the founders, looking into, some of the things that I could pull up on Google. Googleisyourfriend.com. Use it, okay? You Google brands, Google, people. Figure out if this is a company that you want your money going into. And so lying about your quality and your sourcing methods and your, putting quantity over quality, for me, that's important. And so I wanted to make sure that the company did not do that. And so you might also want to do some research as well. So I fully encourage you guys to do your own research. Don't listen to me if this is important. Research it. Just look into the company that you're looking into buying from. Make sure that they have pure oils and look at what their purity standards are. Okay, remember, it should not be just that one way of testing purity. Doterra tests their purity in 9 different ways. Now, they use infrared light. They use sight and smell and taste, which, gosh, our senses are the most powerful way of identifying if an oil is great. So the reputation of the company, make sure that they're harvesting responsibly. Make sure that they are sourcing from all over the world. The prices are right and good and not cheap, because you know that you're not going to, your health is more valuable than that. And so that's pretty much some of the reasons why I chose doTERRA. I'm going to tell you guys some of my favorite oils from doTERRA, and the first one is lavender. So lavender is one of those that I use when I can't sleep, okay? And the same for my family. I use lavender when I can't sleep, anytime, and my favorite way to use it is in this diffuser. You guys see? Ooh, I just want to breathe it all in. And so it's actually, this is my favorite diffuser. This is the petal diffuser from doTERRA. You can get this in the Home Essentials kit, which is my favorite kit, okay? It includes the top 10 full-size bottle of our oils and this awesome petal diffuser. And this month you get a free bottle of frankincense when you buy the Home Essentials kit, which is awesome, a great deal. This bottle right here, guys, because frankincense is, and you remember my story of over-harvesting, this bottle is $93 retail. And it comes from we have like this whole trail, like this Trail of Tears frankincense story. Google it, YouTube it, look it up. It's precious. Our oil, it comes from where frankincense grows. You can't grow frankincense here in the United States. It would be useless. So lavender, can't sleep at night, use lavender. Another one of my favorites is, okay, so you guys, like me, if you are of my age, you in your 20s and your 30s, then you know what it's like to know a week before you're going to get your period, okay? You know, because you got this big, where is it? Honker zit, okay? And it's so frustrating and you know what's coming. So when I get that, I put tea tree oil Melaleuca on it, and it really helps take the time of the redness down by like days. So this thing popped up yesterday, and I put it on yesterday morning, yesterday night, and this morning, and it's already gone down so much. I wish you guys could see it yesterday. I should have done a video for you. But yeah, that's the power of Melaleuca, which is also great for your immune system. It's great for any kind of occasional skin support that you might need on your body. And it's one that you just don't want to be without. I happen to love the smell of tea tree oil. Some people hate it. I love it. It's invigorating. So when you take a bath, right now, is your scalp like on fire because it's winter? Take a bath, put 2 drops of your tea tree oil in your shampoo, okay? Because your conditioner, you're not really rubbing into your scalp. But do it with your shampoo and rub it into your scalp. It's so like tingly. It's like you feel like your little flakes are going away really quickly. So that is like number 2. I'm just going to share a couple more with you guys. Another one that I love to use every single day, and the reason why I started using Breathe, which is our respiratory blend, is because my husband and my daughter, not me, thank God, and not my son, knock on wood, every time spring comes around, they are a hot mess. Like snot, sneezing, like eyes watering, stuffed up, sinuses like raging. Come on, you guys have felt that way, right? The bees are happy, but my family's not. And so, of course, I'm not happy if they're not happy. So we like to use our respiratory blend during that time. And my favorite way to use this is I actually make a salve with it. And so just get a little coconut oil, get a little beeswax, usually about half the amount of what you use of coconut oil. And honestly, right now in the winter, you can just use coconut oil because your coconut oil is probably not melted. But during the summer, use a little bit of beeswax to keep it firm. Simmer that on your stove in a pot, and then set it on the counter for it to cool down. When you can actually stick your finger in the coconut oil that's melted, and it's not burning you, it's not hot, it's like lukewarm, but it's not starting to solidify, you're going to add your Breathe. You can look up dilution methods. I'm not going to go into all that either right now. You can look up how much Breathe or how much to add to, if you're using like a couple tablespoons of your coconut oil. Look all that up. Once you get the right amount, add your Breathe drops into that, mix it up, put it in an old bottle of some kind that you've recycled, and use that. Rub that on their chest, rub it on their back. I know you guys know the trick. If you have a mom who used to rub old Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet and put socks on you before you went to bed at night, come on, anyone's parents ever do that to them? Then you know the trick of that. So why not use something that's not filled with synthetics and things that you can't even pronounce? That's on the, look at the Vicks Vapor Rub if you ever want to try to, test your spelling skills. You won't be able to pronounce half the stuff. But here you've got Breathe, which is a blend of essential oils that works together synergistically to really help you breathe better. And rub that on their feet, put some socks on them, and watch how awesome it is for help keeping them clear at night. If you have a snorer that sleeps next to you, put some Breathe in the diffuser, and it's going to really, really help them as well, and it'll help you sleep too. Add some lavender for yourself too. But guys, those are just some of my favorite ways that I love using my essential oils. And also just 5 tips for choosing a brand that you feel comfortable using. I was always so afraid to use my organic, therapeutic grade essential oils on my children. Like, I was so scared to until I did the research and found that, those aren't really that great. And yeah, that is only 5% essential oil. I don't even want to breathe that in. So find a company that you love, you can stand behind, you can purchase your oils with confidence, and you know that you are getting the highest quality essential oils to support your health and the health of your family. Because that is ultimately, us as moms, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are giving our families, all of us, and the best that we can. That's why we feed them. That's why we stress about their food and eating good and all of that. Don't let natural living become stressful for you, like it was for me. And that's one of the main reasons I wrote my book, Everyday Natural. If you haven't picked it up yet, you can get it at Barnes & Noble or on Amazon. And the reason why my heart behind everything I do is that I don't want anyone feeling like they go to the bathroom and they don't have toilet paper. It's the worst feeling in the world to be woken up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Your husband's deployed. Sorry, I got a phone call, so hopefully you guys are coming back. Your husband's deployed and you don't have the answers, so you have to get everyone up in the middle of the night, trek out, and try to figure out what to give your son, your child, your daughter, so that they feel better. Have the answers at your fingertips, okay? And essential oils are one of the best ways that you can take care of your own family naturally. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to save it, share it, do anything you want with it. And if you have any questions about choosing a brand, choosing, a starter kit, choosing essential oils, send me a message. I'd love to help you out and to be your oil girl, okay? Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful January week, and we'll see you guys on the next Facebook Live and the next Instagram. Bye, everyone.